different air pressures, are trying, just different, oldness of tires or newness of tires, just trying to figure out what they need to do later on to be good when the money comes around.
And welcome to the folks watching on Facebook Live here in Daytona. We are at the final day of the Daytona Kart Week, 50th annual Daytona Kart Week. Hard to believe that we've been around 50 years down here. Share the video, pitroad.tv. We'll show you a couple races here. Get enough viewers, and we possibly will give you a third one. So share it. Hit that subscribe button, too. Go over, subscribe to pitroad.tv, $24.95 a month, and you don't just get go-kart racing, you get all kinds of car racing. As Hunter alluded to yesterday, they cover the Cars Tour and several other forms of racing, so you get a lot of bang for your buck here. And what you're seeing on the screen right now, Pro Junior 1 is on the speedway, and here is your starting lineup. Starting on pole, the 188 of Caleb Nobble, the 00 of Eli Nelson. Starting third, the 57 of Rayan Gibbs. Starting fourth, the 99 of E.J. Rich, the 95 of Cruz Lopez, the 5 of Camden Hart, the 12th of Cruz Futch, the 11 of Asher Hines, the 505 of Wyndon Shaw, the 94 of Braden Chavis.
11 through 20 as we go to the 26 of Shelby Reichner. 12th start spot goes to the 3X of Gage Steiner. Starting 13th goes to the 131 of Nick Newsom. With 14th starting spot goes to the 89 of Raylan Morris. Starting 15th goes to the 330 of Cannon Todd, with 16th going to the 19 of Joey Williams. Starting 17th will go to the 77 of Aiden Lunord. And starting 18th goes to the 718 of Davis Showers III. Starting 19th goes to the 3 of Sadie Parsons. And starting 20th will go to the 121 of Cohen Moore. Once again, comment where you're watching from and just share that broadcast out. We'd love to hear from you. Comment where you're watching from. Share that broadcast out. We'd love to hear from you. Just let us know where you're watching from, and we'll be glad to chime in with you. Just get interactive with us on social media, on Facebook, and once again, just we'll show you this race, and we will be showing you the semi-pro race coming up here in just a moment. Semi-pro drivers, make your way to the grid. Semi-pro, make your way to the grid, please. Semi-pro, make your way to the grid. And 50th super heavy warm-up. Semi-pro and 50th super heavy warm-up to the grid. Semi-pro and 50th super heavy warm-up. Make your way to the grid, please.
15-lap feature here in Pro Junior 1. Caleb Nabble going to lead them to the green flag. Field going single file down the back straightaway here at the Daytona Flat Track. Flagman pointing over to Jurgen, the head flagman. Green is out.
Tennessee's Caleb Nobble leading the field to the green flag. Eli Nelson, Rayan Gibbs, and they're tangling the field, tangling in 1 and 2, and a big melee in turn 1 and 2. Carts going everywhere over in turn 1 and 2. And the first time I've said this all weekend, Brian, we have opened up a Waffle House, our first Waffle House, because they're scattered, smothered, and covered over in turn number 2.
This is the Junior 1 division. We had a little issue last night of coming to the time limit on this class. Hopefully we don't have that issue tonight. Hunter, here is the replay.
And looked like Eli Nelson got into Caleb Nobble, and we'll show you from the front stretch here, as everybody was kind of going on in the corner all at the same time, a little impatient. It was some bumper tag. It started, and it was an accordion effect. Eli Nelson got into Nibel, and then Gibbs, Rich making contact as well. Nelson went in the infield back onto the racetrack. Cruz Futch got collected as well, and a couple other carts. I believe Asher Hines was one of them, and Nick Newsom was another one of those carts in return number 2. Just another one of those chain reactions. Once one person hits the brakes, and then if somebody don't hit the brakes, and then it just an accordion effect from there on back.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, and especially these junior classes, it's definitely an accordion effect. If something happens in the front, it's going to go all the way to the back, and that's what happened just then. And appears we got one dead in the water somewhere on the racetrack. looks like right here at the start-finish line, looks like Gage Steiner. They're going to fire him back up. Gage is going to take off again. We're going to get lined up and try to go green. Hopefully next time by.
Few people chiming in with us. It looks like the member of the Shaw family, somebody of the Wyndon Shaw crew from Mississippi, tuning in with us. Some Colin Stewart fans out of Louisiana, also Owasso, Michigan. Owasso Motorsports Park watching. North Carolina, South Carolina, Jacksonville, Florida. And Shelby Reichner is going to get the kart fired back up in that 26 and rejoin the field. So once again, no laps complete, and that was the first attempt, so we'll bunch them back up, a regional lineup, and we will try it once again. Semi-pro, make your way to the grid. Semi-pro, make your way to the grid, please. Semi-pro, make your way to the grid. Semi-pro, make your way to the grid, please. You're next. Daytona 50th Super Heavy warm-ups to the grid. 50th Super Heavy warm-up to the grid for your feature as well. And Shelby Reichner going to rejoin the field back there. You see on Pit Road TV, trying to get tucked back in line where she needs to start, and that is the she'll be starting behind Braden Chavis, who picked up a couple of wins yesterday. That's probably the only driver this weekend that has really dominated anything in the juniors was Braden Chavis, and he went on a tear yesterday. And then Wendell, his dad, went on to win last night in the senior champ, actually the super heavy warm-up race. He was able to pick up that win last night as well.
Got folks watching all over the country here. Grove City, Ohio, Kenley, North Carolina, out in Louisiana.
More contact there coming to the green is Camden Harp. A bunch of them make contact, and it might have been more of a chain reaction right there.
Our buddy Phil Combs tuning in all the way up in Shelby, North Carolina.
Another announcer friend of mine, Cody Early, announces for the Ray Cook Southern National Series and also the Crate Racing USA Snakes, is joining in with us. Good to have you, my friend.
If you are ever up in the Shelby, North Carolina area, stop by the Combs Family Museum. And,
hey, I'm 10 minutes from there.
Check out Phil's museum. I tell you, you won't regret it.
I'm 10 minutes from there, Brian. I live in Shelby.
Please tell me you've been there.
Oh, yeah, I've been there many, many, many times.
Waycross, Georgia, tuning in. That's my neck of the woods, up around Waycross.
145 viewers right now. Going to try to get that up just a little bit more.
Share, 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 so you can get an extra race, folks. Keep sharing. Let's try to get up to 300 viewers. Decatur, Alabama.
I swear every state has a Decatur.
That's true. Toledo, Ohio, tuning in.
We're going to go try to go green here off this back straightaway, give them a little bit slower pace. And Gavin Everett on the back straightaway guiding these kids getting ready to go. And, you know, you might have a mixture of drivers that have been in Junior 1 a little bit a while, and then you have some that just moved up from red plate. So still learning the roles of racing and what to do and what not to do. Learning the tricks of the trade, I should say. As Rayanne Gibbs gets shoved out of line there, and now Cruz Lopez, Camden Harp to the inside. Looks like it's a little bit more calmer than the previous attempts right here. And I spoke too soon. Asher Hines getting collected right there, and he spins across the track in turn number 3.
We're going to stay green, it looks like.
Couple cars, another car's over there around. Oh, that's a bunch of them. Raylan Morris over there, Shelby Reichner. I believe Cohen Moore, another one of those cars collected. And I believe the 131 of Nick Newsom over there was involved as well.
And as we pace around here, look and see where some folks are watching from. Waxhaw, North Carolina, Tyndall Air Force Base in Florida, Harlem, Georgia, Newton, North Carolina. Got them in Indiana, Kentucky. Oxford, Alabama. Shelbyville, Tennessee. Got some more folks watching from Louisiana. Indianapolis, Indiana. Mechanicsville, Virginia. Elon, North Carolina. Thompson, Georgia. Lexington, Kentucky. So keep sharing. Cambridge, Ontario, Canada. China Grove, North Carolina.
And I'm sure you've heard this guy, famous dirt lake model racer, Dennis Rambo Franklin. Have you heard of him? I'm sure you have. I've seen him tuning in watching. Good friend of mine as well. As we've got the carts under the red flag here for just a moment. Race director Corey Ash on the racetrack telling them to cut their carts off. Checking on drivers over here in turn number 4.
Elizabeth City, North Carolina. Kingsport, Tennessee, Illinois. Clemson, South Carolina. Got another one from Shelby, North Carolina. Ainer, South Carolina. Ainer, home and low country cartway. WK Nationals used to run up there. Phenomenal facility. That's a fast racetrack up in Ainer at low country. That's the hottest I've ever been in my life at a racetrack. There is absolutely no shade at that racetrack, Hunter. The summer nationals there back in the early 2000s, and late 90s was brutal. Lewisburg, West Virginia, Callahan, Florida, Salisbury, North Carolina, New Lebanon, New York, Brunswick, Georgia, just down the road from where I'm located, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, down in the bayou, Lancaster, South Carolina, Syracuse, New York. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. Carnesville, Georgia. Georgia Karting Complex. Monroe, Louisiana.
Once again, keeping everybody under the red flag right here, just checking on the drivers, making sure everybody's okay. A couple cars getting involved there, including Braden Chavis, and they're pushing that cart back behind the pit wall, and he has walked away, and they're going to take him for further observation over here, make sure he is good to go.
Monroe, Louisiana, home of Duck Dynasty. Jacksonville, Florida, Wisconsin. We got them watching all over the country, Hunter. Come on, let's get these viewers up. We only got 154 right now, 154. As time has stopped, as we continue to our red flag situation here. Have about 8 minutes complete in this race. And no laps have been ran as of yet. Jeff Starr watching from Daytona. You should be here, Jeff. Newberry, South Carolina, Arizona. A friend of mine was watching from Andy McGonigal was watching from Phoenix last night.
Once again, going to get ready to fire them back up here as soon as we get everybody in line once again. And these races have time limits right here. We're almost 8 minutes in, but still 0 laps complete. So we'll assess the situation as we get closer to that time limit here. And this time has stopped, but it's still Caleb Knobel, your race leader, Eli Nelson, Ray Ann Gibbs, E.J. Rich, Cruz Lopez, Camden Hart, Cruz Futch, Asher Hines, Wyndon Shaw, and then Shelby Reichner, Gage Steiner, Nick Newsom, Raylan Morris, Cannon Todd, Joey Williams, and then Aiden Nordcarm. Also, Davis Showers III, Sadie Parsons, and Owen Moore.
Got folks watching from Greenville, South Carolina, Georgetown, South Carolina, Cochran, Georgia. They just built a brand new kart track up in Cochran, Georgia. Check them out. Got folks watching in Ohio, Dixie, Georgia. Still only at 150 views. Let's get them up. If you want to get an extra race, you'll get this race and one more unless we get the views up.
Semi-pro drivers be in the grid ready. Semi-pro drivers be in the grid ready. Semi-pro, this red flag's giving you a few extra minutes, so you need to be in the grid ready to go. Semi-pro, make your way to the grid. We also need our super heavy, our 50th super heavy warm-up drivers, make your way to the grid. 50th super heavy warm-up drivers, make your way to the grid, please.
Looking for a quick fix of motorsports news? The Speed Sport Daily is what you need. It's a free racing newsletter delivered directly to your email every day. We'll cover the winners and the losers and tell you who's making news off the track. It's NASCAR, NHRA, World of Outlaw, IndyCar, and so much more. Go to speedsport.com today and get signed up for America's free racing newsletter and get your daily motorsports fix. The Speed Sport Daily.
And we're back here in Daytona. Needed to get these viewers up. 157. It dropped off some. Miss Lori Peters tuning in. Wife of VP Racing Engines owner Victor Peters.
So once again, drivers, if semi-pro drivers, if you would, go ahead and get sat down for us. That'd help out. That'd help out a ton. So once again, go ahead and set those carts down, please. Cruz Lopez got pulled off the speedway. Got one getting sent into the infield. Wyndon Shaw, the 505, getting turned across into the infield.
And caution will wave once again, and we are 8 laps in, or 8 minutes in. And we have yet to complete a lap, and it's a 15 lap or 15 minute time limit race. Almost a replay of last night, Hunter.
You know, sometimes it just, when you have different elements, and sometimes there's impatience. We've seen it in the adult classes too. We've seen it there too. So, anytime that anytime that somebody hits the brake and then there's a chain reaction that goes on, and then you don't know, it's hard to predict what's actually going to happen. So, I think once we get going here in a minute, I think once we can get going, I believe everything will be fine once everybody gets spread out.
And the Shark, Clay Harris, tuning in. Clay Harris has had some good runs in the past here in Daytona whenever he was in karts.
Oh, Clay Shark Harris? Same person I'm thinking about. Same Clay Harris I'm thinking about.
Yes, sir.
Oh, he was one bad man at one time in the junior ranks, especially when he got in junior 3. It seemed like the kid won everything at that time. Well, he ain't necessarily a kid now, but he's had a pretty successful career in the late model world.
Bill, we are in Daytona Beach, Florida, here at the Daytona Flat Track at the Daytona International Speedway. And this is the final day of the 50th annual Daytona Kart Week. 50 years we've been down here for the Daytona Kart Week. Looking forward to 51 years next year when we return. Not only does the dirt karts run here at the flat track, also the enduros are on the big track, and the sprint karts run down in turns 3 and 4 on the inside of the racetrack.
Wyndon Shaw making a move on the restart down there under E.J. Ridge. He's got Cruz Futch alongside him. Gage Steiner in there in that battle as well. As we get through 1 and 2, and we're clean through 1 and 2. Let's see, we're almost halfway there for the first lap. And it's still Caleb Knobel out front. Eli Nelson looking to the inside of him through turn 3 and 4. And looks like, I believe we're going to get a lap in, Brian. One complete this time by. Got
Hopefully
one into
they
the
got
fence
it
and in the
all out of
wall.
their system. We're going to stay green. Caution is out again.
That was Gage Steiner getting turned into the wall down the front straightaway. And everybody crossed the line, so we do have one officially in the books. We do have one lap complete. And here's the replay, and Wyndon Shaw got into the right rear of the 3 kart of Gage Steiner and whipped him around, and Steiner was loose across the track, and then E.J. Rich was behind him. As Steiner went underneath, Gage Steiner turned up the racetrack, and Shaw ended up getting into Shaw's left front, and across the track the 3 went. So it looked like the 3 of Gage Steiner started going up the racetrack and got into Wyndon Shaw, turning him into the outside retaining wall.
Hello there, Dale, watching from Callahan, Florida. I'll actually be in Callahan, Florida for one more day of announcing tomorrow, Hunter, at their New Year's shootout. So you get to go back home, and I get to go do it all over again for one more day.
But you still ain't nowhere near as far away at home as I am either. You're only about 3 hours from here, and I'm about 7.5, 8 hours. So
it is a quarter-mile flat track, Bill. Quarter-mile flat track.
It's not a race on that. We got one lap in, but yes, the 19 does go in front of the 30.
And once again, we was able to complete one lap there, but good news is Gage Steiner was going to be able to continue. And looks like he might just hit the hay bales right there. If he'd have hit that retaining wall, that concrete don't give. So. Semi-pro in the grid. Final call for semi-pro. If you're not in the grid, you need to get there. Semi-pro, if you're not in the grid, you need to be getting there ASAP. Daytona 50th Super Heavy warm-ups. Make your way to the grid at this time as well.
And we are 2 minutes from the time limit in this race. Once we reach time limit, we'll race to the next flag. Check it or caution. We're 13 minutes in. Time limit's 15 minutes. And right now, we're clean and green. Hopefully we stay that way, Hunter. And we got some pushing and shoving for that 4th position.
Yes, indeed we do. As E.J. Rich was trying to make her move to the inside of Rayanne Gibbs, and Gibbs pushed him down to the infield there as Caleb Knobel still out front. Camden Harbin second. Eli Nelson in the third position. Rayanne Gibbs in fourth. Cruz Futch into the top 5 into the 12th car. Rich in the 6th position, with right behind him Slick Nick Newsom and Raylan Morris right there in the 8th position. Wendenshaw 9th, and Joey Williams able to get around Wendenshaw, and now moves Sadie Parsons into the top 10 in the 3 machine.
And the battle's on for the second position between Camden Harp. Camden Harp now back in third, the 00 of Eli Nelson up in second. Your leader at the line, Kayla Nubble. Top 3 have broke away from this field. Nubble, Nelson, and Harp.
Eli Nelson to the inside for the lead. Camden Harp working down there. We got a new leader, and it's Eli Nelson now to the lead. Camden Harp back to second. Nival in the 3rd position. E.J. Rich 4th. Raylan Morris to the 5th position. And then Slick Nick Newsom, Cruz Futch, Joey Williams, Rayanne Gibbs, and Sadie Parsons, your top 10. Wheel to wheel for the lead again. Eli Nelson up the track, and Camden Harp, your new race leader, on lap number 6 as Nival will go to second at the line.
And we're nearing time limit. We're about 10 seconds from the time limit expired. And here we go. Time ticking away. Halfway flags are out. Time limit has expired, so we'll go to the next flag. Time limit has expired. Next flag will end the race.
Once again, as Brian just alluded to, next flag will end the race as we go through turn 3 and 4. Camden Harp, a huge lead out front in the 5 car. And then Caleb Nobble, Raylan Morris, E.J. Rich, Eli Nelson, your top 5. Cruz Futch 6th, Joey Williams 7th, Newsom 8th, Parsons 9th, and Gibbs in 10th. As now Morris makes a move to the inside of Caleb Nobble and move him to the 2nd position. But it's all still Camden Harp out of Georgia in that black number 5 machine. He has set sail on this Junior 1 field.
Coming to 5 to go this time by for Camden Harp as they work down the front straightaway here at the Daytona Flat Track.
I tell you what, 2nd through 5th right there under a blanket. Raylan Morris, he has fought and clawed his way up through the field. He started 14th and he's made his way up to 2nd. Nival has stayed tough right there in that top 3. E.J. Rich in the 4th position. Eli Nelson in the top 5 in the 00. As they work down the backside, and Morris up the track, and that opens the door and up to the inside of Caleb Nobble. Norris going to block the run on the inside. More contact made. Eli Nelson spins into the infield in the 00. And he is stuck on the berm right there. You see the right front tire completely off the ground on the inside of the berm. Looks like we're going to keep it green right now with 12 complete, coming to 2 to go this time by on Camden Harp.
Camden Harp, he is on a rail as he sees the 2 sticks in the air, 2 to go. Out to about a half a straightaway lead, 1.7 seconds to be exact as they work down the back straightaway. Camden Harp is going to take it into turn 3. He's going to see the white flag this time.
Camden Harp with a huge lead out front. Nobody anywhere close to catching him. The battle's going to be for 3rd between E.J. Rich and Raylan Morris now for that 3rd position. And a battle for the top 5 between Cruz Futch and Joey Williams in the pack, with Sadie Parsons in that battle as well. But it's all up front into turn number 3. Your winner in Pro Junior 1 is going to go to Camden Harp. Caleb Nibel in 2nd, E.J. Rich in 3rd, Raylan Morris 4th, Cruz Futch 5th, Joey Williams 6th, Sadie Parsons 7th, Nick Newsom 8th, Rayanne Gibbs 9th, and Gage Steiner rounding out your top 10. Semi-pro in the grid, semi-pro getting fired up in the grid, ready to go. Daytona 50th Super Heavy warm-up in the grid, 50th anniversary. Super Heavy warm-up drivers, make your way to the grid. You're next. 50th Super Heavy warm-up drivers, make your way to the grid. You're next. Senior champs, start getting your final preparations made.
And we're at 210 viewers. We need to get about 90 more. Share, share, share. And Hunter, them Junior 1 drivers did what they did yesterday to us. They went to time limit yesterday, and then they ran it to the finish. It took them 17 minutes to do it, but they made it.
I mean, they made it. There was a will, there was a way, and we was able to try to keep that track cleared. And like I just previously mentioned, that once they got spread out and everybody got in a rhythm, I believe it was pretty much going to be good to go once we got going at that point.
Daytona 50 at the Pro Clone Heavy. You should be at the grid. Or actually, Daytona 50th Super Heavy. Sorry, Super Heavy warm-up. You should be at the grid. Daytona 50th Super Heavy warm-up. You should be at the grid. Champ, senior champ. Be getting ready. Semi-pro rolling on the speedway now.
So here's your starting lineup for your semi-pro main event. On the pole, he was your earlier Pro Junior 3 winner, Bradley Carter. Starting second will go to the 5J, your earlier Clone Heavy warm-up winner, it'll be Ryan Joyner. Starting third will go to the 33 of the Gaffney, South Carolina, is Kobe Lambert. Starting fourth goes to the 157, Will Powers. Starting fifth goes to the 286, Brian Spence. Starting sixth will go to the young lady of the number 10, Carly Bennett. Starting seventh goes to the 5X of Johnny Wood. Starting eighth starting spot will go to the 00 of Jake Lamb out of Tampa, Florida. Starting ninth will go to the 29 of Cole Heward. Starting 10th will go to the 111 of Dalton Wood. Starting in the 11th position will go to the 7X of Jordan Cook. 12th start spot goes to the 707 of Taylor Mitchell. 13th start spot goes to Will Gewen in the 12. Starting 14th will go to the 16 of Ryan Micah. And starting 15th goes to the Paducah, Kentucky's Logan Walston in the 56.
Starting 16th in the 72, Ryan Center. Starting 17th in the 4, Kaylin Hill. Starting 18th in the 505H, Graydon Hall. Starting 19th in the 36, Guy Moore. Starting 20th, the 23 of Lane Roy, and we're coming to the green flag.
Chase Stewart, Matthew Epp, Hunter Adams, Tom Shemp, Braden Dawson, Jace Wright, Bryson Duncan, Brody Bajer, Noah Ennis, and Michael Brissett round out the field. Daytona 50th Super Heavy warm-ups in the grid as we are underway. Brian Spence making a move underneath the Wilson Powers as they go through turn 3 and 4. Carly Bennett got sideways and was able to save the 10 car. Lap 1 goes in the book, and it's Bradley Carter out front. Joyner, Lambert, Spence, Powers, Bennett, Wood, Lamb, Dalton Wood, Cole Heward, your top 10 as we race off into turn 3 and 4. And a little pushing and shoving in the 10th around that top 10 position as they come down the front straightaway. Bradley Carter in the lead.
Got 2 carts around in the turn 4 area. Caution is out. Looks like cart number 36, a Guy Moore.
And we're going to give you the instant replay on Pit Road TV. Bennett and Johnny Wood and those started battling. They were wheel to wheel, and looks like Guy Howard Moore and a couple carts got shuffled out. Taylor Mitchell was one of them. And we'll take a look at an angle here as they were sideways right on your screen. Taylor Mitchell got shuffled out. Guy Moore and Will Gewen just followed suit and pushed way out to the top of the racetrack and into the loose stuff, and around they went coming off of turn number 4.
286, 157.
"20 laps or 20 minutes, the scheduled distance for this semi-pro main event. Daytona 50th Super Heavy warm-ups in the grid, followed by senior champs to the grid as well. "15 laps or 15 minutes." Sorry, it was thought it was 20, but it's actually 15 laps or 15 minutes. My apologies there. So it's 15 laps or 15 minutes is the scheduled distance.
And we did get a lap in, so we'll get them lined back up here and go back green racing in just a moment.
111.29, 505H.
Want to thank our sponsors once again for the WK,
7X, 7X.
MC Motorsports, Armor Metals, Armstrong Performance, Todd Miller Racing Engines, QCS, True Temp, Also, J. Carter Logging, Avis Electric, VP Racing Engines, Millennium Racing Chassis, Bradford Racing, AAA, and Ultramax Racing Chassis.
Out here, 56 is 72, 23.
And you see on your Pit Road TV screen, Jay Owens right there. He's on he's one of our track stewards this weekend. And that Ginger Owens race a little bit later on will be in honor of his late mother who passed away from cancer a few years ago. And we try to raise any time for this Ginger Owens Memorial Race, try to raise as much money up for charity to be able to help with cancer foundations of many different aspects. So, once again, we appreciate him being a part of our crew here this weekend as well here at the Daytona International Speedway. Once again, one complete. Bradley Carter, your race leader. Ryan Joyner in second. Kobe Lambert scored in the third spot. Brian Spence in fourth. Will Powers fifth. Carly Bennett sixth. Johnny Wood seventh. Jake Lamb in eighth. Dalton Wood in ninth. And rounding out your top 10 right now that currently stands is Cole Hewitt in the 29. Daytona Fit Gets Super Heavy warm-up. Fit Gets Super Heavy warm-up in the grid. Need you guys ready to go. And we will need after that Senior Champ. Lights extinguished around the speedway. We're going to come to the green this time by at the hands of the little bulldozer, Bradley Carter out of Florence, South Carolina. The J. Carter Logging. Andrew Slim Williams prepared, number 151, as he'll bring him to the green flag this time by. We're back underway.
Jason Higgy watching at home. Hello, Jason Higgy. And we're racing again here in Daytona. We got one lap complete of 15, and we got 10 minutes left in the time limit.
Wilson Powers getting hung out there, losing a couple of spots as they come through turn 3 and 4. Taylor Mitchell going around to the top of turn number 4, and looks like we're going to try to keep it green here in the top 4 on your screen coming at you as we got a battle for fifth. Johnny Wood up to the fifth spot. He'll bring Lamb and Dalton Wood with him to the inside. Here comes Wilson Powers, but the top 4 nose to tail in 1 and 2 between Bradley Carter, Ryan Joyner, Kobe Lambert, and Brian Spence, your top 4, 3 complete down that back straightaway.
Out front, Bradley Carter still shows the way. He picked up the win earlier in Pro Junior 3. Got Ryan Joyner in tow. Kobe Lambert back in third. Brian Spence and Johnny Wood. Got several of the Junior 3 drivers trying their hand in some of their unrestricted stuff. And Bradley Carter is your leader. 10 to go here in semi-pro at Daytona. And we got carts going everywhere down in turn 1.
I believe that was Carly Bennett that ended up going around over there, but I believe the caution was coming out as you see Dalton Wood around in the 111 cart. Dalton Wood here on the front straightaway around in that 111. It's been definitely an up and down weekend. He started off yesterday when we run the Vega classes. He was right up at the front of the field. He was doing really good in those classes. When we transferred over to Max's, he's kind of been struggling as the field spanned out wide and Wood banged hard into the wall, into the hay bales there. About the 5th place cart, they started fanning out wide, and about those carts, and Dalton Wood paid the price and a nasty lick coming off turn number 4 right here.
And I tell you, we got some phenomenal entry count here this week for 3 days. I mean, we're up around 1,500 entries at the old Municipal Stadium. We was around 2,000. So, you know, still a good ways off, but compared to where it was at when it first started down here at the Daytona Flat Track, some great entry counts here this weekend. I believe we got 500 plus yesterday. 565, I think, was the count for the Max's classes yesterday.
I mean, anytime you have over 500 entries in one day, it's absolutely phenomenal.
1672, 29, 1672.
Once again, you know, these last couple of years, you know, the entry counts have been bumping back up. I mean, it started rising back up about the time I started coming about 5 or 6 years ago. I've been here about every year since about 2017, 2018, except last year. But I tell you what, you know, it's probably about the biggest entry counts that I've seen since I've been coming here to Daytona. 4 laps complete in this one officially. Bradley Carter, your race leader. Ryan Joyner in second. Kobe Lambert in third. Brian Spence in fourth. Johnny Wood in fifth. Jake Lamb in sixth. Dalton Wood, actually, that'll be Wilson Powers in seventh. Grayton Hall will be eighth. Jordan Cook will be ninth. And Carly Bennett will restart in the 10th position, even though she spun over here. That was after the caution had come out. And also, Brian, there's my boss man from the Blue Ridge Outlaw Lake Models tuning in, Mr. Jason Smoot. And I don't know, he don't know what. Hey, I teach him a little bit about kart racing, but yeah, you know, he teaches me about track prep, so I guess it goes hand in hand. But once again, appreciate every one of you tuning in with us on our live feed, and we appreciate the comments and seeing all these comments from all over the country. It's pretty cool to see.
Daytona 50 super heavy warm-up. You should be on the grid. Daytona 50 super heavy warm-up. You should be in the grid. Senior champ, you should be at the grid as well. Pro Junior 2, be getting ready.
All right, Facebook, we'll go ahead and give you up to the task here. If we get to 230 viewers by the time this 235 viewers by the time this race is over, we will give you one more free look in. If we get to 235 viewers, we'll give you one more look in. As we're back underway here in semi-pro, here comes Brian Spence, whoa, way down low. And now he's going to hang on to the 286, and that allows Kobe Lambert to go to third. Johnny Wood and Brian Spence make contact. Wood in the wall hard over in turn number 3.
Johnny Wood getting into the hay bales hard down in turn 3, as you mentioned, Hunter. Bradley Carter shows the way down the back straightaway. Ryan Joyner in second. Kobe Lambert. Caution will wave once again, and we are nearing time limit in this race.
Johnny Wood, look at the damage. The left side, the nerf bar has been caved in. The body's been caved in. I guarantee you there's more damage right there. You can see there possibly could be a bend on one of the wheels there, because on the left rear wheel, you can zoom in, you can see it could be possibly a bend. It looks pretty circular right now. I believe it might be safe, but definitely the tire preparation that they put into those has definitely gone out to dry.
Yeah, as you can see, they're definitely not running much air pressure.
Brian Spence got shoved down on the inside, and then when he got back in line and he nailed Johnny Wood, and then he bounced off of him and then into the outside wall. As you see, Spence coming back up the track, he got back in the groove into Johnny Wood, and then did a free slide all the way across the track and a big hit in turn number 3. I mean, even though those hay bales are there, that is still a big lick.
Only need about 6 more viewers, 2 more viewers. We're at 233, 230.
6 more people, 6 more. Come on.
Come on, we know you can do it.
If you can't find 6 more people, heck, we got problems. 11 minutes in, 4 complete. We're near this time limit here. Semi-pro or super heavy warm-up, 50th super heavy warm-up in the grid. Senior champs to the grid. Bradley Carter, your race leader. Kobe Lambert to the inside of Ryan Joyner, move him up to second. Brian Spence will go to third. Joyner back to fourth. Jake Lamb, your top 5, and now Spence and Joyner make contact. They're scattering across the speedway, and here comes Wilson Powers in there. Jake Lamb, they bounce off each other. Brian Spence gets thrown anchor down the back straightaway as chaos ensues into turn number 3.
And we got carts everywhere down in turns 3 and 4. Bradley Carter, he's working off of turn 2. Ryan Joyner closing in on Kobe Lambert. Joyner's going to make the pass down in turn 3, give Ryan Joyner back to second spot. Here comes Kobe Lambert looking back to the inside. Lambert takes back over second. They're swapping it up. And Will Powers is closing in on that group as well.
And another driver who's made himself up through the field, Jordan Cook, a solid run for that young man into the 5th position in that 7 cart. Chase Stewart has made his way up to the 6th position from 21st in the 40 cart. Good move for him as well. Graydon Hall, Cole Heward, Logan Walston, and Braden Donaldson. Your top 10 as they're swapping for that second position. Joyner's going to reclaim the second spot. Lambert back to third. Wilson Powers in fourth, and Jordan Cook fifth, but it's all Bradley Carter out front. 9 laps complete, coming to 10 this time by.
Laps ticking away here in semi-pro, and so is that time limit. 5 to go. We're at 247 viewers. And Bradley Carter continues to show the way as he has since the beginning of this race. Ryan Joyner back in second. Kobe Lambert, Will Powers, and Jordan Cook.
Four laps to go, coming to 3, and Bradley Carter looking to get his second win on the day. He started out with the win in the Pro Junior 3 race a little bit earlier, and he is dominating here in semi-pro. Ryan Joyner, Kobe Lambert, Wilson Powers, Jordan Cook, your top 5 still as we run to complete lap number 13 this time by. It'll be 2 laps to go for Florence, South Carolina's Bradley Carter. 2 laps to go. Coming to the white flag this time by on Bradley, or checkered flag this time by. Bradley Carter going to get the win. Ryan Joyner in second. Kobe Lambert in third. Wilson Powers fourth. Jordan Cook fifth. Chase Stewart sixth. Cole Heward seventh. Logan Walston in eighth. Braden Donaldson ninth. And Carly Bennett rounding out your top 10. So Bradley Carter will take his second win of the day here in semi-pro. The J. Carter Logging Premier Racing Chassis back number 151. As he'll go across the scales to meet the minimum weight requirement. Super heavy warm-up in the grid. Daytona 50th super heavy warm-up drivers in the grid, please. Need you ready to go. Senior champs to the grid as well. Senior champ, make your way to the grid. Senior champ, make your way to the grid. Senior champ, make your way to the grid. Pro Junior 2, start getting ready to go.
Hello, Rusty Turner watching back in Georgia.
Tommy Moody, former promoter to the Coal Ridge Speedway. Hey, we're thinking about you, brother, and all your loss and everything that's happened. But God bless you, brother, and former promoter of the Coal Ridge Speedway.
And Jerome, the senior champs are on Clone Motors with Maxxis Tires today. Clone Motors with Maxxis Tires.
So here's your starting lineup for your Daytona 50th Super Heavy Warm-Up main event. On the pole out in the 30 cart out of Conway, South Carolina, the Bone Crusher, Josh Johnson. Starting second to go to Tennessee's Brent Carter in the 12. Starting third to go to Hepzibah, Georgia's Wendell Chavis in the 94. Starting fourth to go to the 312, Ashton Johnson. Starting fifth to go to the 122, Ty Bennett. Starting sixth will go to the tall, cool one, Ryan O'Connor in the 28. Starting seventh, the low ground shaker out of Emporia, Virginia, it's Monk Newsom. Starting eighth will go to the 3 of Raymond Fulwell. Starting ninth will go to Tennessee's Rob Sanders. And starting 10th will go to the 88 of AJ Pace. Starting in the 11th position to go to the 151, last night's Pro Super Heavy winner, the Bulldozer Josh Carter. Starting 12th to go to the 20 of Big Red A. Caden Richardson out of Ainer, South Carolina. Starting 23rd to go to Bowling Springs, South Carolina's Christian Henson. Starting 14th to go to Lincolnton, North Carolina's Ryan Hebner in the 7. And starting 15th will go to the 5, the Wilson's Kart Shop number 5 machine. That's going to be Mike Melton.
Rolling off 16th, you're going to have the 59 of Tony Sampson. Starting 17th to 31 of Austin Schaefer. Starting 18th to 505 of Mitch Hendricks. Starting 19th to 009 of Michael Heath. Starting 20th to 71 of Matt Lee. Starting 21st, the 33 of Mitchell Bridges. Starting 22nd, the 60 of Josh Haskins. Starting 23rd, the 32 of Jimmy the Rooster Flynn. Starting 24th, the 181 of Austin Smith. Starting 25th, the 124 of Jacob Davis. Devin LaRocca, Randy Moon, Nick McRae, Stacy Evans, and Ellie Thrift Jr. round out your field.
And we're under, and the green has been waved off. Green has been waved off. And it looks like Austin Schaefer, the Welch Performance entry, and the Welch Performance, the driver that normally, you see him up there at the tracks like Godspeed and Ashway Speedway up in Tennessee. And looks like having a problem there on the 31, going to rejoin the field.
We've got quite a bit of crossover coming into Senior Champ out of this class.
Senior Champ in the grid. Senior Champ in the grid, please. Senior Champ needs you in the grid. Senior Champ needs you in the grid. Senior Champ needs you in the grid, please. Pro Junior 2, start getting ready. Pro Junior 2, start getting ready to go. Pro Junior 2, start getting ready.
And trying to get a line back up here so we can go green racing in the Daytona 50th Super Heavy warm-up. In just a little bit, you'll see them out on the track again, but this time it'll be for 50 laps in the Pro Super Heavy class. So make sure you go over to pitroad.tv and subscribe. Pitroad.tv, subscribe, $24.95. Like we've been talking about, you don't just get kart racing. You can also see car racing. They also cover the Cars Tours. They've been covering the sprint track on the inside of the Speedway. So for $24.95, you get a lot of bang for your buck. And caution will wave. We're going to pace around one more time around the Daytona flat track.
I believe it's AJ Pace having the problems trying to keep that cart running over there in that 88 over at the top of turn number 1. Trying to get that cart to fire back up. Looks like having some difficulties over there. And it looks like he's climbing out of the 88 cart. And it looks like AJ Pace is going to be pushing the 88 back into the pit area. Tough break on AJ Pace. He'll surrender his 10th place starting position. So that'll now give it the 10th starting spot to Josh Carter.
And just heard from Jurgen, our flagman. Let's ride. We're going to go green this time. The 22 or 30, Josh Johnson is on the loud pedal, and the green is out. We got one spinning down in turn 4. Everybody trying to get single file down in 1 and 2. Josh Johnson leads up down the back straight. Johnson gets turned down off of turn 2.
It was a car that spun out. It was coming to the green flag at the top of turn number 4. And then Josh Johnson, your pole sitter, getting turned around on the back straightaway. We'll give you the replay. Brent Carter and Josh Johnson got together as they come around turn 2. I guarantee you, Brent Carter, they were wheel to wheel for the lead, and then the caution was coming out, and they were trying to slow down. And as Brent Carter tucked up underneath the Josh Johnson, they made contact. Johnson got sideways, and Brent Carter just finished him off over there on turn number 2. And that could have been a whole lot worse than what that was. When in front of the whole field, that's a helpless feeling.
Brent Carter actually made a good move off of turn 2. You got to get to the bottom of the track and get up under them so you'll have the line down in turn 3. Your leader, Josh Johnson, left the bottom open. You saw him work the wheel up the racetrack, and that enabled Brent Carter to close in, and that sent Josh Johnson spinning. So we are pacing around here in super heavy warm-up, trying to get them lined back up in their original lineup so we can go green. You're exactly right, Kimberly. It is a beautiful day in Daytona. A little chilly, nothing like it's been the last couple of days, though, but it is a beautiful day here in Daytona.
You know, watching it from home, it's one thing to watch it, and look at the spectacle, and you can see the speedway in the background, but there's nothing actually like being here. Because I don't know if it's just me or not, but just this environment, it's unbelievable the feeling that you get here, because you realize you're racing at Daytona, you're here, it's happening, you're looking at it. It's an amazing feeling being here in Daytona Beach, Florida. So Josh Johnson getting a mulligan there, so he's going to be able to restart from the pole here. Brent Carter, Wendell Chavis, Ashton Johnson, Ty Bennett and company, and we're back underway.
Green is out. Josh Johnson leads them down into turn one. They work down the back straightaway now. Josh Johnson, Brent Carter, Wendell Chavis, Ashton Johnson, and Ty Bennett.
Pushing and shoving there. Ryan O'Connor around. Josh Carter collected over in turn number 4. And looks like we're going to try to keep it green if we can. Josh Johnson up the track. Here comes Wendell Chavis for the lead down the backstretch. Ty Bennett might make it 3 wide into turn number 3. And now he'll take the second spot away. It's going to be Chavis with the lead. Ty Bennett is second. Johnson in the third spot at the line. Brent Fullwell. Ashton Johnson, your top 5 off of turn number 2. Here comes Christian Henson and Ryan Hebner into the battle as they go down the back straightaway.
Raymond Falwell up into the fourth position. Looking to the inside, trying to take over third. Give the third position to Raymond Falwell. And he brought Ashton Johnson with him.
Monk News was spinning after the caution, but Josh Carter bringing out the caution in the 151. And I just looked over and I seen the cart up in the air, so it wasn't good. But he was able to walk away and he was able to push the cart away, so that's the good news. He's okay. Josh Carter able to pull away, and look at the damage on the right front of that 151. Part of the nose piece completely gone from the 151 of Josh Carter. And we'll give you your instant replay as Josh Carter was trying to rejoin the field. He slid across the racetrack and hard into the tires and up on his side and was able to get up out of the way and get out of harm's way. And we'll show it to you again as Carter was trying to rejoin the field. And we've seen many times today, if you miss the exit, you're in a death slide basically and into the hay bales, and boom, we're all across the racetrack, pirouetting, and then the weight transfers because of that heavy weight on the left side, and then on his side he went, and he was able to climb out of it as quickly as he could.
And turn 4 really has been calamity corner today here at Daytona. Those hay bales have taken a beating down in turn 4. Usually at Daytona, turn 2 and turn 4 is usually the bad areas. But actually turn 2 has been kind of calm this week. Everything's happened out of turn 4.
Pretty much turn 1 and 2 has been pretty calm for the most part on this side of the racetrack, but over here in 3 and 4, it's been a whole different story over here. I think just because of you have a little bit more direct sunlight beaming onto the 3 and 4 side, so that could be a part of it, maybe drying that part of the track out a little bit more than over here in turn 1 and 2. Senior champs, you should be in the grid ready, drivers. Senior champ, you should be in the carts, strapped down and strapped in and ready to go. Senior champ, you should be in the grid ready to go. And that'll be our final senior champ race of the week. That'll be our final champ kart race of the week. Pro Junior 2 be getting ready. Pro Junior 2 be getting ready, and it won't be long before we have our first 50th anniversary race. Pro Clone Heavy start getting those carts ready to go.
And we've got 2 laps complete, coming up on 7 minutes in the time limit. 15-lap feature here in the super heavy warm-up. Field getting ready to go green once again. And Wendell Chavis leads them off of turn 4. Raymond Falwell gets shuffled up to the top side of the racetrack. Falwell is going to fall deep into the field.
Wendell Chavis in that lead right now. Ty Bennett, Josh Johnson, and Hank Bumper down the front straightaway between Ryan Hebner and Christian Henson. And they're going to be able to keep those cars rolling. Here comes the 24 Henson to the inside of Josh Johnson. And then he'll be able to claim that 3rd spot as they go into turn 3. They'll make it official when they come across the start-finish line this time by complete lap number 4 in the book. And it's all Chavis, Bennett, Henson, Johnson, Tony Sansom into the top 5 now.
Field starting to get stretched out here. Wendell Chavis shows the way. Ty Bennett in 2nd. Christian Henson in the 3rd spot. Then you got Tony Sampson, I believe, is back in the 5th spot. And Sampson's going to fall deep into the field. Sampson up to 4th. Caution will wave.
Caution out over here in turn number 4. I believe Josh Haskins in the 60 card involved, and the 312 Ashton Johnson. And he's got some damage, I believe, on the 312 machine. Johnson involved. You've seen Josh Haskins pulling away. Mitchell Bridges was pulling away in the 33.
So we got 5 laps complete, 10 laps to go, and 5 minutes left in the time limit. That's just where we're at. A lot of cautions here in super heavy warm-up. I know a lot of people was wanting to watch the senior champ race. Go over, subscribe to pitroad.tv, $24.95. Like we've been mentioning, you don't just get the go-karts, you get a lot of car racing action as well.
And once again, Pit Road TV, they also cover SRL Racing. SRL Racing is covered on pitroad.tv. And we'll go ahead and remind you before then, if you want to watch the rest of the weekend and watch the rest of the day and watch those big races coming up, make sure you are subscribed on pitroad.tv at $24.95 for the monthly subscription. Once again, we're 5 laps to complete this super heavy warm-up feature. We're underway. Ty Bennett in the 2nd spot. Christian Henson. Oh, Matt Lee gets wheel hopped. He'll shovel up the racetrack. Josh Carter marching his way back through the field. Austin Smith gets turned down the back straightaway. And I believe he's going to be in the infield. We're going to keep it green. And it's Chavis. Here comes Christian Henson for 2nd. Move to 24 to the 2nd spot. Here comes Sansom into the battle. Ryan Hebner to 5th. Brian, here they come. As Wendell Chavis. Can he have a challenge here in just a moment?
Wendell Chavis is going to have company pretty soon, I do believe. Tony Sampson's coming, as well as Christian Henson. Henson closing in on that back bumper lap by lap. As they work through turns 3 and 4, working off of turn 4, Henson is there. He's up to the back bumper of Chavis.
Wendell Chavis got plenty of company. Justin McDonald's on the fence cheering him on it. Justin McDonald's on the fence cheering him on as his driver is making to make the move for the lead into turn number 3. He picked him out a good one, and it's going to be Christian Henson to the lead out of turn number 4. Your new race leader, Christian Henson, to the point.
5 to go this time by for Christian Henson. Henson starting to pull away from Wendell Chavis. Ty Bennett, Tony Sampson, and Matt Lee. That's your top 5 as they work off of turn 4. 5 to go.
5 laps to go for Christian Henson as they go into 1 and 2. Looking for his biggest win of his career. Wendell Chavis. Here comes another local driver, Rock Hill, South Carolina's Matt Lee, going to take the 4th spot as they go into turn number 3 and 4 in the 71. He started in 20th, and he's made his way to 4th in the 71. Sansom back to 5th. Josh Carter 6th. Ryan Hebner 7th. Josh Haskins 8th. Ryan O'Connor 9th. And Michael Falwell, your top 10.
Caution will wave.
Caution out from Michael Heath, the 009 cart. And you've seen the damage on the right rear of the 009 and some debris going across the speedway as he takes a clean exit out of the speedway. Five laps remaining to go in this one, 10 of 15 complete. Once again, it is 15 minutes, so once we hit the time limit, once it hits 15 minutes, the next flag will end the race. Whether we go all the way to the end or if a caution comes out before then. But Christian Henson in control. Senior Champ is there, ready to go. Pro Junior 2, get your final adjustments made. Be making your way to the grid, please. Be making your way to the grid. Pro Junior 2, be making your way down, please.
All right, the 7 needs to go up in front of the 151. 59, 71, 7.
And Christian Henson is your leader, but it's about to get crazy. These drivers know it's only 5 to go. They got to make some moves. As we are nearing the time limit, coming up on a minute left in the time limit, so.
But also, Brian, you got to take it to account. They got another race coming up here shortly. If you make an enemy now, you might have an enemy when it comes to the big money. So sometimes you got to be careful what you wish for when it comes to these warm-up races.
Oh, for sure, and not to mention that race coming up later is 50 laps. So like I always say, you got to be there at the end to win it. So like you just talking about, you don't want to make no enemies, get taken out early in the race, and you're out of the game before you even get started. And before we go back green, we are going to run out of time. So we will race to the next flag. Looks like we got about 30 seconds left in the time limit, 30 seconds.
Christian Henson leading them back right here. Everybody getting in line, and we are underway. Henson, Chavis, Bennett, Sansom, and Matt Lee, your top 5 in the turn 1 and 2. Down that back straightaway, Henson going to play block down to the inside. Chavis looking down low. Bennett is there. Here comes Matt Lee in the fray. Ryan Hebner's there. Josh Carter from the tail of the field twice up to the 6th position as they come out of 4 to go. Time limit has been raced. The next flag will end the race. Next flag ends the race.
Christian Henson starting to pull away once again from Wendell Chavis. Ty Bennett, Matt Lee, Ryan Hebner, that's your top 5. Jimmy Flynn up to 10th, all the way from 23rd.
Matt Lee has charged from 20th to the 3rd position as now Chavis applying the pressure on Henson. Henson going to have to give him the lane. Wendell Chavis going to reclaim the lead off turn number 4, but it's not over. 2 laps to go.
Wendell Chavis was waiting to make his move. He's back to the point. Christian Henson up to the back bumper. Matt Lee on the back bumper of Henson. Matt Lee's going to look to the inside. Here comes Christian Henson. Henson gets to the back bumper of Chavis. They both spin. White flag waving. Matt Lee to the lead.
Wendell Chavis and Christian Henson took each other out. And we got one going around, and it's Haskins that they'll race back to the checkered flag into turn number 3 from 20th, starting on the grid. He led 1 lap, and it's the one that matters most. Matt Lee, your winner. Josh Carter in 2nd, Ryan Hebner, Tony Sansom, Ty Bennett, Brian, oh, baby. Wow, what a finish from 20th to win it. Matt Lee out of Rock Hill, South Carolina, the biggest win of his career here today. And at 71, a former Piedmont Cartway track champion takes it home. And we'll show you the replay right here as Chavis reclaimed the lead. Henson gave him the bumper, and they both washed up the racetrack and both spun coming to the white flag. Henson ducked to the outside, across the track, into the left rear of Chavis. They wheel hopped coming out of turn number 4, and both out of the groove they went and opened the gates for Matt Lee. And once again, thank you for joining us on pitroad.tv for the live look-in. If you want to watch the rest of the package, go to pitroad.tv to claim that monthly subscription for $24.95. If you want to see more excitement like what you just seen, you will see it on pitroad.tv if you get that monthly subscription, $24.95 a month. And we appreciate each and every one of you tuning in on our live look-in. And be sure to go get that subscription if you want to see more excitement of what you just saw.